let's call the Lincoln City Council regular meeting to order for September 22nd, 2015. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Mayor Kitchen.
Here.
Pearson.
Here.
Mr. Brett. Here. Mr. Watson.
Here.
Mr. Barnhart. Here. Mr. Burke. Here.
All right, the chair recognizes a quorum. Councilman Pearson, would you lead us in the invocation? Councilman Clark, Councilman Hutton, will you pledge allegiance? I'll stand.
Father in heaven, we come once again with our ear from our heart. We just come once again, just thank you once again for this gathering. Thank all the people who come to be a witness of our council meeting. I pray for God that you be with them in a mighty way. God, as you continue with this meeting council, continue to keep your arms around us and take care of us and watch over us. God, we thank you for the progress that our city made. Oh God, we made some great progress, and because of you, we made it. And I so Father God, that you be with us now. We get ready to take part in our meeting tonight. As you open our minds and hearts so we can say and do it just right. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I know everybody's anxious to get through the meeting and get back home before this rain gets any worse. We have a public hearing tonight for CDBG grant. Louise Campbell, our grant writer, would you please
This public hearing is required. It's on the Wilco Hess Community Development Economic Development Project. As you all know, the company was sold and we've had delay in getting that going. And through no fault of our own, but their reorganization. During that process, we have been trying to get a handle on how many jobs they're created. The $250,000 Community Development Economic Development Project was based on Wilco Hess's commitment to this project, and now that in number of jobs. Now that has changed slightly because Wilco Hess Speedway they are doing everything internally. We're not going to be dealing with any outside parcel people at this time. There'll be a restaurant facility in there, but the number of jobs they had to look at very carefully. They are committing 41 new jobs, which should be well in range of keeping our grant intact. But we do have to go through this process of requesting that ADECA lower that amount of jobs committed to this project. So, and again, we are hopeful that this project will, of course, lead to many more new jobs in the future when those sewer improvements are in place. So, is there anyone here present that came to this meeting because of the hearing advertised for this community development project? Okay. Any comments? Okay.
I'll close the public hearing at this time.
No, I'm up here to give a little on the light update.
Sure.
Okay. I just apologize all over the place for how long this is taking, but it is, there are so many factors, the environmental factors, legal factors, title factors, but we do have 4 inspections that had to be done and documented. We do have 4 houses ready to bid. I had hoped we could do it through public bid quotes, but it looks like we are going to have to do it because it is private property that we're working on. It's not a public works activity. We're going to have to do it by sealed bid. And I would like tonight if y'all could just make a motion to approve the bids on these 4 houses. 65 Embry, 85 Embry, 553 Second, and Lot 4 Road house, Mini Police house. You don't have to specify by address, just authorization to bid this project.
Okay. And these are the houses that we've been talking about?
Yes. And we have 4 more that are ready with a little more title work. So hopefully we'll just get this project, you know, we're hoping we can do about 4 or 5 a month. Get it done. So.
It'll be a good thing, because
I don't have that notion on the agenda because I just learned that. So,
it was a long time for those. I mean,
I know.
you said like 4 or 5, we'll do like 4, then come back to 4 or 5.
Well, let's hopefully we can get, you know, get those others cleared. Yeah. Get it started while those titles are being done.
So we've got these one cleared and then.
We've got these
working on
one
some.
cleared and everybody's at their blessing.
And I handed Chris on the motion.
You want to bid that?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to let the bids on the demolition of the 4 structures for the Slum and Black project.
Second. There's been a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. All right, the next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of September 8th, 2015. I believe everybody's received those minutes. Please do. Floor's up for a motion.
Motion to the minutes of September 8, 2015.
All right, any additions, deletions, or changes? Add additions. Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of September 15th, 2015. The floor is open for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll motion to approve the minutes of September 15, 2015.
Any amendments to those motions, those minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Mr. Mayor, at this time, I make a motion to amend the agenda to move communication from the audience to 4 ordinances and resolutions.
I second.
There's been a motion second to amend the agenda as stated. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is communication from the audience. Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stewart, I had a podium built just for you, sir. Hope it works. The microphone's on. I checked it before I came up.
Yeah, smile.
Mayor, I appreciate that. I don't know if I can see my print that far away.
You're welcome to hold it up, sir. I'll start your 3 minutes when you're ready.
Y'all here?
Not well,
Beg your pardon?
not well. It's very muffled back there.
Well, is that any better?
Yeah.
Well, let me know if it... Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
As everyone clearly understands, Lincoln likely began a clandestine effort after this administration came into power, even though previous administrations had determined it could be a disastrous proposition. By many indication, that certainly seems to be the case. You know, as I said a while back, leadership has access to much more information than we do. While it would be nice to use that information properly, sometimes it seems that Lincoln has not. I think I'm interrupting somebody up there. However, there have been many misstated, unclear, and expensive things along the way. Examples: insisting the fire truck would cross the Choccolocco Bridge until a neighbor came in furnishing statements from the county and the state that it would be illegal. Remodeling staff in the Handy Corner Fire Station, while the county citizens are perfectly happy with our current protection. In Lincoln proper, there's been much concern about school traffic, road repairs, water lines, and even illegal drug activity. May I enthusiastically compliment the faithful police, fire, and all you employees. It seems that they may not get enough appreciation, and it seems that more has been demanded of them lately than they can humanly do. Mayor and Council, you use 4 lake cities for your justification of expanding 600%. No other city I know has attempted such an aggressive idea. I think most anyone would agree Oxford, Alabama has been successful. They don't have a lake, but they've got an interstate, the same interstate. We're not your employees, we're not your citizens. After last meeting, a council person whom I respect said to me, "I don't understand your concern." Well, here's our concern. We are Talladega County citizens. Because we were either born here, or we wanted to come here to make a farm, or we wanted to live in a rural area, or we wanted to live on the lake. Many of us left the city just for those reasons. Wear our shoes for a while, be denied the American vote.
Thank you, sir. The next item on the agenda is James Goss. His topic is PJ expansion.
Good. Mr. Mayor, it seems that maintaining a status for having the largest geographic city in Talladega County is more important than a safe environment for patrol officers and residents they protect. Since you and your council members are not skilled in law enforcement, why would you ever consider requiring 2 patrol officers on day patrol to protect 18,000 people spread out over 127 square miles? These 2 officers will spend the majority of their time patrolling the immediate city of Lincoln and not on county back roads where most of the 12,000 county residents live. Mr. Mayor, are you not required to provide everyone in your jurisdiction with equal police protection? How can you justify providing a more secure environment for city residents than for police jurisdiction residents? There is not one person on this council, including you, Mr. Mayor, that can explain how 2 patrol officers can safely protect life and property for county residents when the 2 officers are nowhere near the resident's location. When it's not your life or any of the council members' life being placed in jeopardy, it's easy for this council to sit back and come up with unreasonable mandates. So the mayor can boast about having the largest geographic city in this county. I would like to also comment about the previous council meeting. After the meeting had adjourned, most of the audience members witnessed Mayor Kitchen and Councilwoman Burke when they disregarded "I have no comments" and came down to interrupt Commissioner Swinford's ongoing meeting with audience members in the rear of this council chamber. This is one time Mayor Kitchen and Councilwoman Burke had plenty of comments. After the commissioners' meeting was over, most audience members had vacated the premises and did not see Councilwoman Burke in action during what I would call round 2. Mrs. Burke was scolding several audience members on the outside of this building. The skirmish inside the building had only got Councilwoman Burke warmed up, because when she came outside, she was slinging comments both left and right. And guess what her dispute was about? She was insisting that 2 patrol officers can safely protect everyone in the city as well as the entire police jurisdiction. However, Mrs. Burke could not explain how this would be possible with 2 patrol officers. Thanks for the 3 minutes.
Thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is Resolution 2015-27, awarding bid to Richard Strauss Construction in an amount of $196,940 for the Magnolia Street sidewalk improvements. We had a series of 5 meetings with residents on Magnolia. We invited everybody on Magnolia to come to those meetings. There are several of those people. And anybody else that wanted to come, open it up. There are several of the folks that are in this meeting tonight that were present at every one of those meetings. And I felt very good about that. I think the council members that attended it felt good. I feel like that the residents, although no one wants to cut down trees, felt like it was the best alternative to come back and put a sidewalk back on the west side of Magnolia. We came embedded at the work session. And tonight, they're sending it to the council for their approval for the base bid of that. So I open the floor for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve resolution 2015-27 award bid Richard Sprouse Construction in the amount of $197,940 for Magnolia Street sidewalk improvements.
I second. 196.
196.
$196,940.
So proper motion has been made. Correction acknowledged. Second by Pearson. Any other discussion?
You know, I think that we do have a leeway in there if we don't have to use that whole 196. And we come back, I know we're approving that amount.
That's correct. I mean, there's a contingency amount in there, and there, because it's unit bid, I mean, if it's not needed, does not have to be used yet, so hopefully it will be less than that. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Minutes show that it was unanimous. Next item of business, appoint Bill Goodwin to the Top Trails Board. That's the park authorities of the city of Lincoln and Talladega, and operating as Top Trails Board. Reverend Goodwin, I know you're here somewhere. You stand up. Very pleased to recommend to this council to accept the nomination and appoint this young man to that board. He's been down to some of the board meetings. He's met with those folks. He's very excited about being involved in it. I think it'd be a huge contribution to the board and to this community and seeing its future growth. So any comments from you?
Thanks.
For those who don't know, Reverend Goodwin, he's the pastor at First Baptist Church in Lincoln downtown. Been here for 13 years. Billy now knows that.
Yeah, I know.
He knows that now. So anyway. So the floor is open for a motion to appoint.
I make a motion to appoint Reverend Goodwin to the Top Trails Board.
I second.
All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Congratulations, sir. Look forward to working with you. I know I asked you from time to time, you and Mr. Cullimore, to come back and give us some updates of what's going on down there. So, good luck. I know you're lobbying for forward or so. Working on that. All right, the next item of business, approve the installation of the street light at the entrance to the elementary, middle, and high school campus at Patton Chapel Road. That's the southern entrance into there. For that, Councilman Watson had been up there and noticed how very dark it is right there, and recommended a light there. So the floor is open for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the installation of street light at the entrance to the school on Patton Chapel.
Second.
Chair recognizes Britt. Ms. Sadie. Any discussion?
We just have to have that because it's very, very dark in that area. It's just good to see that go up.
All right. Hearing no other discussion, call for the vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Reports from staff. Any staff members?
This is not library information, but I'd like to express my appreciation to the Lincoln Police Department and paramedics for their service at our home a couple of weeks ago. They were very professional and got there very quickly and appreciated everything they did. And it was very comforting to see familiar faces and all of it. I do appreciate it.
So what was your address? Where do you live?
And it's the current station road right off the interstate.
I just wanted,
All right, any other staff member?
You have my report.
Okay. Parks and Work. All right, then, the only thing I've got to touch base on is that I wanted to comment on our part of participation in working with the State Department of Transportation and the Talladega County Board of Education and our police department, and working together to try to help alleviate and smooth the traffic situation up at the school. And our part of it is we did contribute money to the state, in part for the state to build that part out. We contributed over $137,000, I think it's $137,000, $135,000, somewhere right in that area, of money to the state to help with the turn lanes and that part of the construction. The state contributed the rest. We met with the state at their request to talk about things that the school, the city, the state could do. I thought it was a very productive meeting. Our police officers offer traffic management services during that time. It's very difficult for a police officer to do anything more than to direct traffic and where they want to go. They can't do anything to create more storage capacity there. I thought it was a great meeting. We'll have a follow-up meeting next week with them, and I'm looking forward to that meeting and see what productivity comes out of that. We do have a councilman who drives a bus for the school and certainly understands that. Councilman Britt, substitute up there, and send that to your community you have too, is that school that serves not only city students, but it also serves the county and the folks in the police jurisdiction, and in some cases outside that. So very pleased to see everybody working together on that, and that's the only thing I had. I'm looking forward to the council.
I would just like to say that I'm very pleased and happy that we finally, after over 3 years, have the traffic light at the intersection at 2077. I mean, I let everybody know that government work or city work, it takes time. So we just have to be patient and get through some of those objects that's put before us. So things don't happen overnight, but it's been a long time coming. And I'm glad to see it. And I know everyone out there that travel that road is glad to see it too. Happy about that. That's just one outstanding project that the city brought together. I'm proud of it. That's all.
Councilman Britt?
I'd like to take the time, I don't think I've done it openly, to thank Robert, the police department, fire department, and all of the workers that came down to the park on First Avenue, and we had that meeting, and I think we thank you there, but I'd like to make it public that we really do appreciate your efforts in helping us get that park back. We see some progress in the area, and we want to invite the people in the Pine Grove area for a neighborhood watch awareness meeting on, I see Robin has it on the agenda for October 3rd at noon. The appreciation is just, we just appreciate you giving up your time on Saturdays to come down to help us claim that park back and get the order that is needed down there. And we appreciate that. I don't believe we expressed it to the workers that came, did the hot dogs, and Robin, your staff, and everybody. They just, and Tanya, all of you. We just really appreciate it. And the council members and Mayor Kitchen and those that came. We're happy to just say, show our appreciation to y'all. Thank you so much. And we'd like to invite the council members and the mayor's always going to be there to the meeting on Saturday, October 3rd at Pine Grove Park. Pine Grove.
Oh, they got a roll on the book.
It's Pine Grove Park. We have a meeting there on October 3rd at from noon until 1 o'clock. we'd like to have you there because it's ribbon cutting for some new playground equipment that will be installed there as well. So we'd like to invite those that would like to come and help us with that. Thank you, Chief.
All right.
I'd like to reiterate what Mayor Kitchen said about the ALDOT meeting with the County Board of Education, the city, and the police department that we had. It was a very productive meeting. The state has been monitoring and doing studies. They've got a camera up there at the school. They've been watching it every day since school started to see what's going on up there, what's malfunctioning, and noticing if anything was working. To really watch and see what they had done, what they had put in place to see if it helped. They brought things to the table that showed to the County Board of Education and to the city, suggested some ideas and suggested, that the county board also look at maybe doing some things different. But it's working a lot better than it was, and hopefully over the next 2 weeks, or the last week and this week before the next meeting, they have put their heads together and come up with some better ideas to really help do that, because it is a traffic jam at times. The other thing I want to speak on is the Unite Lincoln thing that was down here at Randolph Park on September 13th. It was hosted by the Lincoln Methodist Church and the Lincoln Baptist Church, along with the Recreation Department. It was a big success. If any of you went to it, I hope you had a great time. And hopefully it'll be something that's not just a one-time thing, revolve around every year. And it was really put together really short. I mean, probably 2 months at the most.
6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks, yeah. So this time they'll have a whole year to try to plan forward into that. So maybe it'll be even bigger and better next year. It was very good estimates. Last Sunday, or the 13th, there was probably somewhere around 1,000 people. I had a great time. And I want to, thank the police department and the park department for helping with everything that they did to make that come off of it.
I don't have anything tonight.
There being no further business coming before the council, make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. All those opposed, motion adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Well, have we heard from the new groom?
Yeah, I talked to him this weekend.
Are they back?